Stadium here in Charlotte. You look at some of the greatest stars of the game, tons of MVPs between them. They're all on one team because this is Team LeBron. As KD said when he sat here, we've got the 5 best players in the game. I don't know if that necessarily, top 3 for sure, it seems like. And then after that, maybe some conversation. But LeBron has been a part of a lot of conversation for a long period of time. Another All-Star Game visit to Media Day.
LeBron, welcome to Charlotte, man.
What's going on?
How's this compared to all the other All-Star games?
Oh, we started. Hold on. Let me get comfortable. Let me get comfortable. All right, go ahead.
How's this compared to all the other All-Star games they have to see in Charlotte?
I think it's great for the city of Charlotte. Obviously, with MJ being the owner of the franchise here, to be able to host the All-Star Game. This is the biggest weekend for the NBA. People from all over the world come here. So many different countries, so many different likes, so many different people, so many different walks of life. And for us to be here in Charlotte, I know the people of Charlotte are very appreciative of this moment, and I'm happy to be here.
LeBron, you keep building a legacy, the highest number of All-Star points, 15 straight starts. But what is the All-Star to you? What does it mean?
To be able to start, and be recognized as one of the best players in this league, it means a lot. I mean, these are the fans that voted me in as All-Star starter. You guys had a lot to do with it as the media, and then the coaches being able just to respect what I do out on the floor as competing against them. So, it's always an honor to be a part of All-Star Weekend. I grew up watching All-Star games throughout my whole life when I was a kid, and I just wish someday that I would be a part of it. So, to sit here today, my 15th straight, being a part of this. It's just I get a loss for words sometimes because I just know where I come from. You got Charlotte 2019, and I come from a small town in Akron, in Ohio. So, it's a tribute to my family, to my friends, and everybody that supported me over the years, and hopefully I continue to make them proud.
Yo, LeBron, can I show you a map to the camera?
Let's just handle the questions, my man. I love my fans in China. First of all, ni hao. And every time I go to China, they've always respected me and welcomed me with open arms. I've been all over China, either playing basketball, promoting the game of basketball. This past summer, I had my More Than an Athlete tour, where I try to inspire a lot of kids as well to be not only, basketball players, but more than that. I've always loved being a part of China and going there and seeing the fans. They've always been ecstatic every time I come there. So thank you. Dave? Say that again, Dave. I don't know. It's hard to kind of, talk into the future. You know how I am, Dave. I kind of live in the moment. And, once that moment get here, I'll be able to reflect on it. How long I reflect on it, probably pretty quick. You know how I am with that as well. But one thing I can tell you, Dave, is anytime I'm mentioned with some of the greats, with one of the great, if not the greatest that ever played this game, it's crazy to me. It really is. It really is. It's crazy to me when I'm talked about with some of the greats. And you look at MJ, somebody I looked up to and always believed was the greatest. It's just pretty cool, and I have no idea how I've been able to do it.
LeBron, when's the last time you seen a black musician?
I think the comparison thing will never stop, and I think it's great for the game. People are always going to make comparisons. What player remind you of him? What this guy does similar to that guy. So I've never tooted my nose up or had anything to say with the comparisons to me and Zion to me. I think it's great. I think it's great for the game. With his athleticism, what we all see, his ability to jump up, well beyond the 10-foot rim is incredible. I think what's also incredible is at his size, his speed, his agility, his quickness. And then to add on to that, I think he's just a great kid. Every time, the media has asked him questions, he's always been right on and very humble about it. He's humble about the fact that he gets to play the game that he loves every single day. And I love everything about him from the outside looking in. I've never met the kid, but I love everything about him. And he keeps the main thing, and that's the game of basketball and being a part of something that's special, which I think that Duke program right now is special, not only with him, but with RJ, with Trey, and also, excuse me, and also with Cam Reddish. So I think they're great, and they get to be around the greatest coach of all time, and Coach K. So I mean, it's an unbelievable thing that for Zion and for the rest of those guys. What's going on, bud? How you?
Trying to take care of the kids and the youth, make sure they get something. Listen up. I want you to tell us how does it feel to have your own school and getting back to the city of Chicago?
To be able to be in a position where I can have my own school, it's not about me. It's about the kids that's in there. It's never been about me. I'm just a platform, and I am the voice and the guy that can be able to put it together. But it's so much deeper than me. It's not only the kids that's at my school, but it's also the faculty members, it's also the teachers, it's also the people, the security guards, it's everybody that's inside there, the chefs, the head chefs, the custodians, everybody that has anything to do with making sure the IPS school runs on a day-to-day basis and runs smoothly for my kids to be able to succeed. So it's an honor, and I take it very seriously. I check up on my kids weekly to see how they're doing, and it's been great so far, and we want to continue that.
Is somebody going to get the yin-yang cross tomorrow?
No, that ain't for me, man. We got a lot of guys that can handle the ball. You look at Kyrie, you look at Steph, you look at Kemba. Those guys are the crossover guys. Even KD, even being 7 foot, he can handle the ball at all-time high. So you get a lot of running from me, but other than that, you might not get much.
You want to catch your body?
All right, some great stuff there from LeBron. Unbelievable, 15
Was
times
he speaking Chinese?
going through this. He did speak Chinese.
The dude
Are
from
you saying you don't know any Chinese?
He's from Akron. and now he's speaking Chinese.
China.
I guess the game has gone global.
It's global, man. It's global.
We get a chance to welcome in A.Davis. A.D., appreciate this. And thanks for doing this, man, because I mean this. Ultimate respect for coming out and talking and dealing with what I know can't be easy through all this. How much different has that made even the lead up for you mentally as you get on a plane and kind of go to All-Star compared to think back to being the host of it going back a year ago?
I got a great team around me. My family came down knowing this is the biggest All-Star, but I just go out there and just be truthful, we're not preparing for anything. This is a script. I just go out there and just say what I feel, say what I mean, and let the rest take care of itself.
Well, that's what I respect about you in terms of your honesty throughout this whole process. And I've said this before, and I think, two things kind of happen here. I thought you wanted to be honest with management and say, hey, I'm not signing back. These are my intentions.
Right.
And you want to give management enough time to go out and do what they needed to do. And somehow that got out publicly, maybe from your side and also from their side. So there are two culprits here. But at the same time, the thing that I respect about you, and everybody should respect about you, is that you have always maintained your honesty about the situation and saying, I want to give y'all enough time to do what y'all want to do. And by the way, if you asking me, where would I like to go? These are some of the places that I would like to go. But by the way, I do understand that I'm a player. So wherever you trade me to, I'm going to honor my contract. But at the same time, if you're asking me, this is where I like to be.
For sure.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, for sure. And I think that was the biggest thing. I think being honest helps everybody. And, I wanted to give management, more than enough time to, do what they had to do to make the best decision for them. I didn't want to spring it on them. And now you have a couple months to figure something out. New Orleans always respected me. And I felt like I should do the same for them. And, like I said, my family's been great through all of this, just by my side, and that's the only opinion that matters to me. Everybody else say what they want to say, and you hear get booed in the arena and stuff, and my dad's just courtside, and I just look at him, he's like, do one of those. Well, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Go out there and play basketball. So it's been different for me, but it's something that I'm growing to learn, and it's just going to do nothing but bring experience to me.
AD, I want to ask you this just because we couldn't hear, we've been on the air, everything that you had said in your media avail, but somebody had told me that you had mentioned maybe the Celtics being on that list? I just wanted to clarify. Is it on the list or are they not on the list?
All 29 of the teams are on my list.
Everyone's on the list.
I don't have a preferred destination. Like I said, I just want to win. You know, they actually big market, small market. I don't care. You know, I want to win. You know, and obviously whatever team, you know, I get traded to, you know, play for it that year or whatever. If I get traded, I'm not sure, but just make the best of it, and then, you know, when free agency comes, see what happens. You know, I can't tell the future, but all 29 teams are on the list.
So just to follow real quick, so people who had reported it's the Lakers and then it's the Knicks.
I never gave a destination.
The man whose voice it is, Anthony Davis,
a destination where he wants to play.
Okay.
But if you asking me, if you asking me, I mean, because we all had dreams and everything else. But if you asking me, right, would I like to be in Hawaii? Yeah.
Look, I admire your honesty, but more importantly, I admire your game. And we all know because of your game, all 29 teams are going to certainly be interested. So all that talk about that, let's just talk. I want to talk about your game.
Perfect.
And obviously, you're 25 years old, 6-time All-Star. You're the only other player, I think, to be under 26 with that 3-time All-NBA, 3-time defensive players, Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
And when I see you and your height and what you do on the court, like you have really just taken the game to another level. And so, I don't just talk about your evolution and your growth as a player, as a leader, and what's in store. Can you continue to push the envelope and continue to become the best version of Anthony Davis?
Yeah, for sure. It took some time. You know, Monty Williams helped me out a lot. You know, he would come in and practice with us, and he would teach me some post moves, and he always said, get to your spot. That's your spot. Get to your spot. And I kind of just slowly, came along. I remember he wouldn't play me in the fourth quarter when we was playing. We were actually playing the Lakers, and Dwight Howard was in the game. He was like, I don't want you to get hurt against Dwight. And I would always like, Coach, I'm good. It's basketball. And he always had a plan for me. And now I always see what he was talking about back then. And then kind of that third year, the game just slowed down for me. You know, everything was going at 100 miles an hour. And that third year when we went to the playoffs against the Warriors and got swept. But it slowed down. And I was able to see the game differently and know where I like to score the basketball and know how I can help my team.
How's the shoulder feeling, by the way?
Shoulder feels fine.
Play tomorrow?
That's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Good.
Well, you mentioned that game when y'all got swept, and I remember vividly, right? Steph Curry getting the ball in the corner, and you challenging that shot.
Don't remind me.
No, because I'm watching it on television, and I'm like, oh, that's a block.
Yeah.
And somehow he got that shot out, right? And not only did he get it off, but it went in.
Yeah.
And I felt the heartbreak for the Pelicans at that time, but I also admired the incredible shot that was made.
Yeah, for sure.
You as a defender, did you admire the shot and also hate it at the same time?
I did. At the time, I hated it.
Yeah.
You know, but then later on, they were like, his eyes was closed too.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's a tough shot.
Yeah.
He makes that. But it was a great game, and people talk about it all the time. They call it the shot. Oh, Steph Curry, the shot. And I was just like, man, and so that kind of led us.
Okay, well, I know about the pass. Bird steals the ball.
But that actually gave us a little bit more motivation last year when we played them. Obviously we didn't want to get swept, and then we were at home. We had that big lead. We knew what happened before. We didn't want to give it up, so it gave us an extra motivation.
Well, enjoy All-Star Weekend and the controversy and all this stuff that's really happening for you and the Pelicans. Take it from experience, right? At the end of this, just make sure that you have a heart-to-heart conversation with ownership if you can, and with management if you can, before it gets too far out. Get everybody out of y'all business, and you sit down as the man that you are and keep being honest, but try to keep that relationship, because you never know who you're going to meet or what team you're going to get traded to again. You may be back with the Pelicans.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it, AD. Thanks so much for a few, man.
Thank you.
All right, we look forward to seeing you play tomorrow.
Good luck, brother.
Anthony Davis on our set. When we come back, our own Kristen Ledlow will chat with Wade County in his final All-Star appearance.